You're driving. It's late. The road is a black ribbon unfurling into an endless dark. Your only company is the low hum of the engine and the twin beams of your headlights cutting through the void. Then you see it. A flicker of movement at the edge of the light. A silhouette. Small. A child standing all alone. What do you do? Do you stop? This is the question at the heart of a story that clings to the lonely highways of this country. It's a modern folktale, a chilling warning shared in hushed tones at desolate rest stops and late-night diners. This isn't about the dangers you know, the ones they warn you about on the news. This isn't about carjackers or common criminals. This is something else entirely, something older, colder. It's known as the ghost child trap. One of the most repeated accounts comes from a trucker named Marcos. He was hauling freight down the Pinhais Highway on a moonless, rain-slicked night. The asphalt shimmered like a black river. Exhaustion was a heavy weight on his shoulders, blurring the lines between road and shadow. He'd heard the tales, of course. Every driver had. Stories meant to spook the new guys. He never gave them much thought, not until that night. As he navigated a blind curve, his headlights caught something. A small figure, a girl, standing motionless on the shoulder, her eyes fixed on his approaching rig. A jolt of adrenaline shot through Marcos. A kid, out here in this downpour. His fatherly instincts screamed that something was terribly wrong. He couldn't just drive by. With a deep, weary sigh, he engaged the air brakes. The massive truck groaned and shuddered, fighting against its own momentum. The girl didn't flinch. Even from a distance, her eyes seemed to capture and hold the light, glowing unnaturally in the oppressive dark. Marcos brought the truck to a halt a few yards away, his mind racing. What was the right thing to do? He pushed the cab door open and stepped out. The cold wind and rain hit him instantly, a shock to the system. "Hey, you okay?" he called out, his voice swallowed by the storm. The girl was completely still. Her white dress was drenched, and strands of dark hair were plastered to her unnaturally pale face. She didn't respond. She didn't shiver or cry. She just stared. A cold dread, sharper than the wind, crept up Marcos's spine. She didn't look lost or scared. She looked vacant. He took a cautious step forward. The truck's headlights flickered once, twice, and then died, plunging the scene into near-total darkness. The dashboard went black, the engine cut out. The sudden, absolute silence was broken only by the drumming of the rain. In the gloom, the girl slowly lifted a thin, pale arm. She pointed, not at him, but toward the dense, black forest that bordered the road. Then her lips peeled back into a smile. It was a wide, grotesque grin that revealed a dark, toothless maw. It wasn't the smile of a child. It was the smile of a predator. Marcos didn't need to see anything else. A primal, desperate need for survival took over. He scrambled back toward the cab, panic making his limbs feel like lead. The door was stuck. He threw his shoulder against it, heart hammering against his ribs, and finally tumbled inside. He fumbled with the ignition, praying. The engine only made a weak, dying sound. In his side mirror, he saw her. The girl was walking toward the truck now, slow and deliberate, that horrifying smile stretching her face. And she wasn't alone. From the tree line, other figures were emerging, shadowy shapes, some tall, some crawling on all fours, all moving silently toward him. They say the trap is flawless. The child is the lure, designed to prey on the compassion of good people. Those who stop, those who can't bear to leave a child in peril, are the ones who vanish. There is no theft, no struggle left behind, just an absence. An abandoned vehicle and a story that becomes another whisper on the wind. Some theories suggest the child is a spirit, feeding on the life force of its victims. Others claim it's the scout for a pack of inhuman entities, harvesting souls to fill their own void. Another version of the legend, passed on by a schoolteacher, tells of a boy. She was driving home very late when he appeared, not on the shoulder, but directly in her path. She slammed on the brakes, her tires screaming as the car fishtailed. Shaken but overwhelmingly relieved she hadn't hit him, she put on her hazard lights and got out. The boy stood with his back to her. She called out, her voice trembling. He didn't turn. As she drew closer, he simply dissolved. He vanished like a wisp of smoke, leaving behind only the scent of damp soil and a profound, unnatural cold. When she finally got back to her car, the passenger door was hanging wide open. The seat was indented, and a dark, wet stain marked the fabric, as if something heavy and soaked had been sitting there. She never drove alone at night again. The message woven into these tales is a grim one. It's an unspoken law for those who travel the loneliest roads after dark. Don't stop. Don't let your curiosity win. Don't let your compassion be your downfall, because the child you see standing in the darkness, looking so lost and helpless, might not be a child at all. It might be the bait. So now, you tell me, having heard the stories, what would you do? Would you have the nerve to keep driving, to ignore what you saw? Or would your heart force you to pull over? Think about it, because you never know when the night will decide to test you. Leave a comment below with your answer, and share this with anyone who drives the dark roads.